In the dead of night, a chilling scream echoed through the deserted street. And so begins our tale, set in a quaint town that once knew only peace and tranquility. Nestled away from the hustle and bustle of city life, this town was a haven, a sanctuary to those who sought quietude. But as we all know, appearances can be deceiving. This serene haven was about to transform into a breeding ground for strange, inexplicable occurrences that sent ripples of dread among its inhabitants. One night, the comforting silence was shattered by a blood-curdling scream. It was as if the night itself was in agony. The echo reverberated through the deserted streets, bouncing off the closed shutters and locked doors. The piercing scream felt like a premonition, a warning of the eerie events that were about to unfold. The townsfolk, once sound asleep, were jolted awake. Their hearts pounded in their chests as the chilling scream echoed in their ears. It was a sound they would never forget, a sound that would haunt their dreams for nights to come. The initial reactions were of confusion and disbelief. Could it be a trick of the wind? Some wondered. Others dismissed it as an animal's cry distorted by the night. But deep down, they all knew that it was no ordinary sound. It was a scream of terror, a cry for help. As the night wore on, their confusion turned into fear. The silence that followed the scream was even more unsettling. It was as if the town was holding its breath, waiting for the next horrifying event to unfold. The usual night sounds were conspicuously absent. No cricket dared to chirp, no owl dared to hoot. The wind itself seemed to have held its breath, and the moon hid behind the clouds, as if afraid to witness what was about to happen. The once peaceful town was now a portrait of fear and suspense. Something was wrong, very wrong, and the residents knew they were in for a sleepless night. As dawn broke, the town was gripped by an eerie silence, broken only by the whispers of the missing. In this once lively hub of activity, a cloud of uncertainty now hangs heavy. The streets, once teeming with laughter and life, now echo with an unsettling hush, punctuated only by whispers. Whispers that belong to the ones who have vanished. Each day brings with it a new name, a new face that's added to the growing list of the missing. Each disappearance as mysterious as the last. No signs of struggle, no signs of a hurried departure, just an empty home, a vacant room, and a life that seems to have evaporated into thin air. The only thing that remains is a chilling whisper, a disembodied voice that seems to linger, reverberating through the empty corridors and deserted streets. These whispers, they're not just echoes of the missing, they're echoes of fear, echoes of uncertainty, echoes of the unknown. They're a constant reminder of the inexplicable nature of these disappearances. It's as if the very fabric of reality has been torn apart, allowing these souls to simply slip away, leaving behind only their whispers in the wind. As the mystery deepens, the terror intensifies. The town, once a haven of safety, has now become a stage for an unsettling play of disappearance and dread. The townsfolk, once close-knit and jovial, now look at each other with suspicion and fear. The question on everyone's lips: who's next? With each passing day, the whispers grow louder. They're no longer just echoes. They've become a symphony of the missing, a haunting melody that permeates every corner of the town. They're a chilling reminder of the ones who are gone, of the mystery that remains unsolved, of the fear that grips the town. As night falls, the whispers grow even louder, as if the darkness amplifies their eerie chorus. They fill the silence. They fill the night. They fill the town with their haunting echoes. The town sleeps, but the whispers don't. They continue to echo. They continue to haunt. They continue to remind us of the ones who are no longer here. The chilling whispers grew, filling the silence with their haunting echoes. The whispers were not just sounds, they were echoes of dread, a chilling symphony of the lost. They were an enigma, these whispers, a terrifying puzzle that no one could solve. They were there, yet they weren't. They were heard, yet there was no source. It was as if the town itself had learned to speak, its words a haunting echo of its torment. The whispers were everywhere. They slipped through the cracks in the walls, seeped through the keyholes, and rustled through the leaves in the trees. They were in the wind that blew through the narrow streets, in the rustling of the dry grass, in the creaking of the old wooden doors. They were constant, relentless, a never-ending drone that filled every corner of the town. It was impossible to escape them. They were the first sounds of the morning, the last echoes of the night, the haunting lullaby that lulled the town to sleep. The whispers were a chilling reminder of the town's growing horror, a soundtrack to its despair. They were the voice of the unknown, the embodiment of all that was feared and misunderstood. They were the sound of uncertainty, of dread, of the unexplainable. And with each whisper, the fear grew. It spread like a shadow, creeping into every home, every heart, every soul. It was a ghostly chorus that chilled the very air, a constant refrain of the town's growing terror. The whispers were a haunting melody of unease, a symphony of fear that played on a loop in every mind. They were a testament to the town's growing distress, each whisper a chilling echo of the dread that had taken hold. The whispers were not just sounds, they were a haunting refrain of despair, a terrifying symphony of the town's growing fear. The whispers were not just sounds, they were the voice of the town's terror, the chilling echo of its growing fear. They were the soundtrack to the town's nightmare, the eerie lullaby that lulled it to sleep. With every whisper, the fear grew, a ghostly chorus that chilled the very air. In the heart of the town, a chilling discovery was made. A symbol, cryptic yet eerily familiar, was found etched into the very core of the town's center. It was a haunting representation of the terror that had been steadily creeping into the lives of the town's residents. Its presence was a stark reminder of the fear that had quietly yet unrelentingly taken root within their hearts. This symbol wasn't just a random etching. It was a calculated message, a terrifying declaration that bore the weight of the horror that had been silently unfolding. The symbol was a twisted blend of archaic and modern elements, a terrifying testament to the unknown force that had been orchestrating the unnerving events in town. Each curve, each line of the symbol seemed to pulse with a life of its own, echoing the dread that had been building in the town. It was a silent harbinger of the unseen horrors that lay in wait, a visual embodiment of the fear that gripped the town. It was a symbol of a terror that was as real as the breaths the townsfolk were struggling to take. The meaning of the symbol was terrifyingly simple, yet its implications were anything but. It was a statement, a declaration that the horror the town had been experiencing was far from over. It was a promise of more terror to come, a chilling reminder that the safety they once knew was now a distant memory. As the townsfolk began to understand the symbol's meaning, a collective shudder ran through the crowd. The reality of their situation was sinking in, and the terror it induced was almost tangible. It was a message that couldn't be ignored, a chilling testament to the unseen horror that had claimed their town. The symbol was a message, a terrifying declaration that sent shivers down their spines. It was a chilling reminder of the fear that had infiltrated their lives, and a stark warning of the terror that was still to come. This was their reality now, a reality where fear was a constant companion and terror an unwelcome guest. The night fell once more, and with it, a chilling truth was unveiled. Each tick of the clock echoed through the stillness, punctuating the icy dread that hung in the air. The town, once a haven of quiet tranquility, was now a stage set for a horrifying climax. The specter of fear had woven its cold fingers around the heart of every soul, gripping with a relentless force that threatened to shatter the calm. As the moon hung low, casting an eerie glow over the hushed streets, the chilling truth began to unravel. The whispers of the wind carried the tale, each gust a chilling chorus of the town's terrifying ordeal. The tale that unfolded was one of darkness and despair, a narrative woven with threads of fear, stitched together by the hands of an unseen terror. The town's horrifying ordeal, a nightmare that had seemingly sprung from the deepest recesses of a twisted imagination, was not the product of mere fiction. It was real. Every whispered word, every haunting echo, every spine-chilling scream, they all bore testament to a truth too terrifying to contemplate. In the dead of night, the haunting whispers gave way to a horrifying revelation. The town was not merely a place of quiet solitude, it was a playground for unseen horrors. The shadows that danced in the corners of their eyes, the chill that ran down their spines on the windless nights, the unease that filled their hearts as darkness fell, it was all real. The terrifying truth was revealed. The town was a hunting ground, a place where fear was harvested and terror reigned supreme. The unseen horrors, the entities that lurked in the shadows, they were the architects of the town's torment. They were the puppet masters, pulling the strings of fear and manipulating the town into a dance of terror. As the chilling truth sank in, one thing was clear. This was a night the town would never forget. The echoes of their fear would reverberate through the ages, a haunting reminder of the night when the veil was lifted and the horrifying truth was revealed.